Hi friends, today let's discuss about carbon and its allotropes. Are you ready? So, I'll show some pictures of some substances and you need to tell me among those which all contains the element carbon. Okay? Now, first one is pencil. Second one is chalk. Third one, sugar. Among these, which all substances contain the element carbon? Right. All these substances contain the element carbon. Okay. But how? Let's see. Chemical composition. So we know carbon is denoted as C6, right? Because its atomic number is 6 and the symbol of carbon is C. So let's see chalk. Chalk is actually CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate. So in chalk, along with calcium and oxygen, the element carbon is also present. Now what about sugar? The chemical composition of sugar is C12H22O11. So sugar also contains the element carbon. Now what about pencil? Pencil, we know we used to call the gray color substance in pencil as pencil lead, right? But actually, is it the element lead present in pencil? No. Actually, it is a substance known as graphite, and graphite contains carbon. Okay, so all these substances contains the element carbon, that is chalk, sugar and pencil. Now, which other substances do you know where carbon is present? Let's see some other substances. Okay, so carbon dioxide, it's a compound, right? We know carbon dioxide is a compound of carbon which is present in the atmosphere. Now, another one is diamond. Diamond is actually not a compound, it's a substance where carbon is present. Okay. Now, other one is wood. In wood also carbon is present. Now, all living things contain carbon. That is, whether it is plant or animal, all living things contains the element carbon. So, hence it's known as the element of life. So that's it. From this itself, we can understand that most of the substances that we see around contains the element carbon. So that's the magic of carbon. Now let's see the different forms in which carbon exists. Okay. So mainly there are two different forms, and among that first one is free state. That is, carbon exists mainly in free state, which means carbon is present in its elemental form, that is without combining with other atoms. Okay, so the examples are graphite, diamond and Buckminster fullerene, where carbon is present in its elemental form or free state. Buckminster fullerene may be a new term to you. It's a substance of carbon. Okay, now the second one is in the combined state, that is carbon exists in the combined state, that is carbon combines with the atoms of some other elements to form a compound. Okay, so carbon exists in combined state also, and the examples are sugar, chalk, carbon dioxide, etc. So these are the two different forms in which carbon exists, that is free state and combined state. Now let's focus on the free state. Okay, that is free state in which carbon is present in its elemental form. So such varieties, that is such various physical forms in which an element exists, are called the allotropes of that element. Okay, so we already told that in carbon, graphite, diamond and Buckminster fullerene exist in its elemental form. So the allotropes of carbon are diamond, graphite and Buckminster fullerene, because in diamond, graphite and Buckminster fullerene, carbon is existing in its elemental form which has various physical, but they are various physical forms of the same element carbon. Okay, so that is the allotropes. Now let's see in detail, that is properties of diamond and graphite, which are much more familiar to you. Okay, so diamond, we already know that it's a lustrous or shiny substance which is transparent and also colorless. Now what about graphite? Graphite is also a lustrous substance, but it is opaque and black or gray in color. Now what about the hardness? We know diamond is the most hardest substance, right? But what about graphite? Graphite is not that much hard. So graphite is a soft and a slippery substance. Okay. Now coming to melting point, both diamond and graphite have got very high melting point, and also both diamond and graphite are insoluble in water. Now let's see what about the electrical conductivity. Diamond does not conduct electricity, whereas graphite is a conductor of electricity. Why is it so? This is because of the difference in the structure of diamond and graphite. So we need to look on to the structure of diamond and graphite. So here comes the structure of these allotropes. That is, here we have the structure of diamond, and this is the structure of graphite. And also we have the structure of Buckminster fullerene. So Buckminster fullerene, from this itself we can see it is a ball-like structure, okay, football-like structure. And now we are going to focus on the structure of diamond and graphite. Okay, so first let's see diamond. Diamond, let's consider a carbon atom present in diamond. We can see that a carbon atom in diamond is combined with four other carbon atoms around it. That is, a carbon atom in diamond is covalently bonded with four other carbon atoms. That is, we know covalent bond means sharing of electrons. So, a carbon shares its four electrons with other four elements in the case of diamond. So now let's come to the structure of graphite. Okay, graphite mainly have got a sheet-like structure, like sheets arranged one over the other. And these are not bonds actually. These are some weak binding forces, that is van der Waals forces. So these sheets are binded with weak van der Waals forces, and there is no bonds existing in between. So now let's consider an atom, a carbon atom in graphite. So let's consider this carbon atom. The carbon atom is combined with three other carbon atoms, right? That is in the carbon atom is in bonding with three other carbon atoms. So a carbon in graphite is covalently bonded with three other carbon. We already know the valency of carbon is 4, right? So in graphite only 3 electrons are in bonding, and we know since the valency of carbon is 4, one electron is free, that is free from bonding. So graphite contains a free electron, right? So this free electron leads to the conductivity or electrical conductivity of graphite. We know conductivity, electricity is the flow of electrons, so it needs free electrons for a substance to be a conductor of electricity. So graphite have got free electrons, so graphite is the conductor of electricity. Whereas in the case of diamond, we already told that the four valence electrons in a diamond, the four electrons are in bonding, are in covalent bonding, and there are no free electrons. So since there are no free electrons in diamond, diamond is not a conductor of electricity. And since there are free electrons in graphite, graphite is a conductor of electricity. Okay, now let's see the hardness of diamond. The hardness of diamond can also be described by its structure. Okay, so diamond, we know we already seen it's a giant covalent structure which each carbon atom is joined to four other carbon atoms by strong covalent bonds. So these strong bonds makes diamond a strong substance. That is, it is a rigid network of carbon atoms held together by strong covalent bonds, which makes diamond very, very hard. Okay, that's all about it. Now, from this itself, we have seen the difference in the properties of diamond and graphite. These were the physical properties we were discussing, right? So there were many differences in the physical properties of diamond and graphite, right? But will there be any difference in the chemical properties? No, because it is made of the both diamond and graphite are made of carbon. So the chemical properties will be the same. So that is, allotropes of an element will have different physical properties but same chemical properties. So that's about allotropes and the element carbon. So hope you have understood about carbon and its allotropes. That's all. Thank you.